You're listening to the All Elite Podcast, your favorite AEW fan podcast for in-depth analysis and discussions about the number one growing brand in professional wrestling today, All Elite Wrestling. This podcast is broadcasted live on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch on behalf of the No Holds Barred Network. The network is your source for wrestling interviews and podcast content featuring independent wrestling and AEW. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So sit back, relax, and interact in the live chat. Enjoy the show.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the All Elite Podcast, right here in the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I am your host, as always, of the All Elite Podcast. I am your self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, always joined by my co-host. She is the woman of many nicknames. She's the EVP of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the queen of the Indies herself. That's Tiffany.
That's me. That's me. Having some technical difficulties over here.
Not with us, though. Just Tiff's got her own stuff.
Not fun. Yes, the joy of content creating. You guys, there's a lot of things you don't realize that are done during it. So it's like, what the heck? So it's like I'm trying to figure it out right now. And I'm like, what the heck? So
but we're good. We're on the air. We're live and here to talk about everything in AEW. And oh my God, Tiff, we have a lot to talk about. Like last week, I thought we had a lot to talk about. This week, we have even more to talk about.
It really is.
It's nuts.
Crazy.
It's crazy. But if you guys are new, welcome to the All Elite Podcast, right here in the No Holds Barred Network, where myself and Tiff talk about everything in that AEW world with this fun discussions, analysis, interact with you guys in a live chat that we talk about everything in the AEW world, whether it be from Dark, whether it be from BTE, whether it be from Dynamite. And Dynamite was, Tiff, pun intended, explosive this week.
Oh my God.
And
so much happened this week. It's crazy.
Basically, you see it in the thumbnail. The Forbidden Door has finally been opened. And wow. It's literally, I had trouble sleeping last night.
Did you have problems sleeping?
I had to cuddle my teddy bear extra tight. No, I don't sleep with a teddy bear. Don't look at me like that.
Kenny Omega doll? Like
I did. I put him back up there, though. He's right up there. If you guys spot him and you guys are watching the video version, he's right up there, right next to the Intercontinental Championship. But ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome if you're watching live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook Live. If you are watching on Twitter's Periscope, if you are watching back on YouTube, thank you very much. If you are one of our many download listeners on audio platforms, thank you very much for downloading and checking out the episode. You guys mean the world to us, so thank you very much to those who have. And if you guys didn't know, we are available on a lot of audio platforms like Anchor, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Castbox, Overcast, wherever you're finding your podcast. The easiest way to look for us is if you look for the All Elite No Holds Barred Network. Then you'll find the right and correct All Elite Podcast, and as well as the many other podcasts we offer here on the network. And if you are on the Apple Podcast side of things, it would be very generous if you guys leave us a 5-star rating and a comment down in the comment section of the Apple Podcast library there and under us. It helps us with the chartable side of things, so thank you all of those who have. So, yeah, we're all part here in this great family here in the No Holds Barred Network, which is continuing to grow by the day. Tiff.
It's crazy.
And we might as well start with our network stuff.
All right, let's do it.
The other stuff. The other stuff is this is going to be probably another hour and 10, 20-minute podcast. There's a lot to cover. But to get the network stuff out of the way and to say hi to everyone in the live chat, what is going on. let's get the network mumbo jumbo out of the way. So first off and foremost, we're gonna start funny. We always like to keep it fun here and hilarious. And me and Tiff, you see it before. We rip on each other all the time. That's why we make good chemistry hosts here.
Do we?
And we've brought that over to the No Holds Barred Network's Patreon page. If you guys haven't signed up for Patreon right now, www.patreon.com/NHB Network is where you can find us on there. As little as $1 a month helps you support the net, or helps us support the network. Can't even speak English. Maybe if I get more dollars, I can get some English lessons. But access to exclusive content and podcasts on there, like the Free For All podcast, which we just recorded this week, the new episode. As you can see, there's the thumbnail.
Oh my goodness.
We had our good friend Casey Catala join us. She is awesome. We talked about many topics like Disney Plus, creepy DMs. That's why I have the send nudes turtle guy there. As well, we spoke about artichokes. Yes, believe it or not, we spoke about artichokes. And if that's confusing you, here's a little clip in preview from the Free For All this week about artichokes. Here it is.
Like she said that was her like best pork chop. And then, like, I had, like, some homemade pasta and, like, the artichokes that
The
were,
artichokes?
Like, artichokes. Do you
The
know what an artichoke is?
Okay, hold up. You said the artichoke? It's artichoke.
Again, it's the New York in me.
That's
like,
not
I
a
talk
New York
fucked
thing.
Up. Like, why do you
Never heard a New Yorker say artichoke.
That's the 3-year-old in you thing.
Fine. I'm all fucked up, okay? Like, whatever.
I want the artichoke. That's gonna be a picture now. That's gonna be in the thumbnail. It's gonna be artichokes. So yeah, that's a little teaser of the free for all and the shenanigans that happen on there this week. Artichokes.
Listen, we already know, like, I talk all messed up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like,
but you see another side to me and Tiff, and we brought it out with Casey this week. It's so much fun to do, and we're going to be doing more crazy stuff like that on the network Patreon. Me and Tiff are actually in the process of getting a coffee podcast done. Believe it or not, yes, a coffee podcast. You heard that right. A podcast where myself and Tiff have Keurig machines, and we order a bunch of different variety type of crazy K-Cups and react and taste them on air, and it's really fun. Me and Tiff have done it before. We're bringing that back to the No Holds Barred Patreon. We'll be doing other kinds of podcasts on there, and then gaming content. Yes, I tweeted out saying there's going to be an announcement on the gaming content of the network Patreon. I have it right here for you guys. So announcement number uno, and that is I brought it up in I believe it was our anniversary episode, that I was going to be doing gaming content called the UFWC, which is the Ultimate Fantasy Wrestling Championship on 2K, and the first pay-per-view is done. I have it finished. It's completed, and it will be making its debut this Sunday exclusively on Patreon. So you guys are going to want to sign up there. It was so much fun to do. I cannot wait to get more of these out there to you guys. A lot of craziness happens in there. But the first ever pay-per-view, Night of Champions, will happen this Sunday exclusively on Patreon. It'll be posted there for our patrons right now. So make sure you guys get over there and sign up.
yeah.
So that's the first one. So here comes the second one. This is a pretty big one. And coincidentally, it has to do with what's going on right now. I didn't make this part of the gaming content. Like, I've been working on this for the last couple of months, and it was actually an idea from our boy Samster there on Twitter. And I've been collabing with him about it. So here comes the second one. It is the AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Supercard 2K stream, and that is going to be on Sunday, February 21st. This one is basically almost completed. I'm touching up just a few things, and it'll be done, but it'll be posted at the end of the month on Sunday, February 21st, and again, exclusively on the No Holds Barred Network Patreon page. So that is another big thing I'm working on. It's so well done, by the way. Like, the characters I found look identical to the New Japan stars and the AEW stars. It's so good. So you guys are going to want to definitely sign up for Patreon to catch that as well. And as for like more gaming content, me and Tiff were actually talking today, and we're actually brainstorming. We're going to be doing a lot more gaming content, actually non-Patreon exclusive as well. Yeah. So our Twitch page, which is the No Holds Barred Network Twitch page, which is twitch.tv/ I believe it's NHB Network, or it's No Holds Barred Network, all one word.
It's the No Holds Barred. It's No Holds Barred Network.
No Holds Barred Network. There you go. So make sure you're following our Twitch account. If you're watching the podcast on Twitch, hey, you already followed. Or if you haven't, follow.
Hi.
Anyways, hi. Yeah, but we're going to be doing more gaming content on there, whether it's me and Tiff playing Fortnite, other types of video games. We're going to be doing a lot more gaming stuff, so make sure you guys are going to want to follow that to keep up to date with when we go live on there. But we're talking about doing more than just, we're going to still be doing the wrestling podcast, but we're going to kind of, expand the network a little bit farther out now into the gaming world side of things as well, and then doing more stuff for the Patreon page. So the No Holds Barred Network, guys, is growing by the day. Make sure you sign yourself up for the Patreon page. Again, as little as $1 a month gets you access to all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into
yeah, we got to talk about it. Let's talk some
AEW. That's
why
too long.
Here.
All right. This is what everybody's here for. Hi, guys.
But we gotta get our stuff out of the way. People understand.
Okay, so let's go.
All right.
Where do you want to start?
Like, where do we start? I guess we start with the big thing right off the bat.
All right, let's do it.
Or we can talk about being elite and dark.
Well, let's start big.
Let's start big. Okay. Okay. So the proverbial forbidden door has been opened. So the partnership between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling is basically official, because you don't just retweet each other and start doing all this crap without being a partnership. So,
well, Dave Meltzer actually brought it up on the Wrestling Observer.
I do, and I actually have it up here.
Cool, perfect.
So, quote from Mr. Meltzer himself from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Here we go. He says, "The deal is done, and the sides have been have a working relationship. The pandemic probably sped that up, but it also holds it back at the same time. The only way to get Moxley was to make a deal." So it looks like Moxley was the forefront of this deal, which is crazy. When AEW first started, I think New Japan had no idea how successful they would be. They were really a lot of childish stuff, and even when I tell people, they don't want to believe it. But it really was. It was a lot of childish stuff. It was essentially that New Japan Pro Wrestling, wanted Tony Khan to come and see them, and he didn't. And they even thought that AEW sent Chris Harrington, and even though the Young Bucks were in office, and whoever wrote this, like, quote from Meltzer, God, you need a lesson in grammar, because this is definitely not how he spoke. Anyway, the gist of it there is that, they were talking in the beginning, and now it's kind of been it's been sped up, the talks, and obviously the big thing was Moxley. Moxley being, they want Moxley over there. So basically Tony Khan's like, well, if you guys want Moxley, let's make a deal. So I'm happy for this. I'm really happy. But they needed they needed Moxley because he had the US title, the IWGP one. They could have stripped him. They could have if they wanted to, but they didn't want to. That's important. So New Japan could have just stripped Moxley, right, and just cut ties, but they didn't. They wanted a relationship to work out between these two companies, so that's a good thing as well. The only way to get him, because he couldn't go to Japan because obviously the pandemic and stuff, was to do it here. But the only way for him to do it here is to be approved by Tony Khan, so it opened the door. I guess the guy that was over there running Harold. I can't say his name. Niche is gone.
Yeah,
so
I know I'm saying it probably wrong, so my apologies. Yeah.
So that helped.
Like that. He took a step down. So,
man,
but that's huge. Yeah. This is huge. This is something that we've been talking about on All Elite Podcast since, we started All Elite Podcast, and just like the possibilities. And I know like Twitter is so half and half that I was reading. People hate it. People love it.
Why do you think people are hating this? Like.
People are hating it because I can understand where some people are going with the fact, because I always talk about certain things that, yes, I love the fact that we've opened doors here and the dream matches that we can have, right? But my thing, right, that I always say on the podcast is like, don't forget about your roster either. So I think that's where some of the hate that was coming on
well, that doesn't really make sense. They're not looking to add like 50 New Japan people. This is just working relationship for here and there, like a Moxley going to do what he's doing now, or if a Jericho wants to go to wrestle at the Tokyo Dome next year, or Omega wants to go wrestle Ibushi at the Tokyo Dome next year. This is what this is for. I think people are kind of getting confused and thinking that they're just going to merge the rosters. I'm like, no, that's not happening here.
Yeah, no, I like the fact of the thought of like once in a while, maybe we could get a feud once in a while, maybe like a pay-per-view, like the dream matches that we can have. It doesn't need to be every week. It doesn't need to be like everybody coming over, like basic storyline that makes sense. I feel like,
it's going to be fun. And I think people can like kind of calm down about this too, because obviously the pandemic is still here. It's still a thing. Even though they made this working relationship, we're not going to get Jay White. We're not going to get, the Bullet Club coming over here right now necessarily. We're not going to get Okada over here. This is going to take time. That's why Meltzer brought up, like, it speeds it up and it slows it down at the same time. They're doing this deal within a pandemic, but it's going to take time for them to, have these megastars show up on AEW, or one of an AEW megastar showing up on New Japan Pro Wrestling. And it's also good that they did the US deal too. So today they also announced that Roku is going to be the streaming platform for New Japan's US TV show, which is Thursday. So Tiff, on podcast day at 5 p.m. So we know what we're going to be watching before the podcast every week at 5 p.m. on the Roku channel. But the thing that I don't know, and I don't know if someone in the chat will clarify this, it said 5 p.m., but it didn't not say what time zone.
Oh boy.
I don't know if that's 5 p.m. over there, meaning I have to wake up at 3 a.m. on Friday to watch.
That's probably it.
But the good thing is
how it goes.
The good thing is it'll be shown live, and then it's gonna have an access to a library for you to go back and rewatch. So
Which
if you
is
miss
great.
it, you can still watch it. Like you can wait till Saturday and watch it.
Yeah, there's gonna be like a lot. But even like the thought of what can we see even going over to the dojo? And like we've seen people like Blake Christian over in in California. We've seen Danny Limelight over there, and now we've seen Chris Dickinson over at the dojo. Like even like the possibilities of that, or even like Brad's talking about it in the chat, the young lions, you can send them over.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the possibilities are like so freaking endless here. Put them on Dark. Aren't we supposed to eventually get like a second show?
Yeah, so he
too?
says Eastern Standard Time, but isn't the American Dojo in California?
Yeah, it's in California.
So
It's
what if
usually
they mean
like 10 o'clock
PST
on Fridays?
So I think we will get more clarification once more news comes out and they'll clarify that. But it's huge though. Like I forget who I was talking to today. I was literally about to throw my Roku device out. I was close because I didn't need it. I have a Fire Stick.
I have like a Roku in my bedroom, but then I have a Fire Stick in my living room. Like,
it's going to be nuts. And this is cool too, this partnership, because, eventually we're going to get Bullet Club versus Bullet Club.
Yes, let's go. Take my money.
We're going to get, the Elite. We're going to get the Elite versus like the Bullet Club that's there now.
Can you imagine blood and guts with this though?
God, or
this will be better, but then I'm still gonna be upset because like I'm so upset about blood and guts.
I know you were supposed to go, Tiff.
I was supposed to go. I feel so sad. So
yeah, but this is huge, and like look what happened at the end of AEW now. So we had obviously a week or two ago, Moxley show up on New Japan Strong and confront Kenta, right?
Yeah.
So okay. Kenta's been tweeting for a week. He's been teasing people. So obviously his teasing was literally written in plain sight that he was coming eventually. And I think a lot of people knew, like, they're kind of putting two together. Okay, maybe he's teasing because maybe he's been put in quarantine, or he knew about this deal going to happen, but, kind of throwing people off the path a little bit by saying he's going to be there and then not show up. So finally he shows up at the end of Dynamite, and that was crazy. And I'm just sitting there going, like, it was great and all. Like, I marked out last night at the end and I was going nuts and I couldn't sleep and all that. But I'm like sitting there also going, can you imagine if there was no pandemic, the pop for that? Because not just necessarily the pop for Kenta, but the pop because the fans will put two and two together. They'll say, okay, shit, Kenta's here. That means the partnership is here. That's what they would pop for.
Oh man, I was screaming last night. I was like, oh shit, right? Because we've been for weeks, right? We were like, oh, it's not happening. Like you and me have talked about this too. It's like, oh, it's not going to happen. Moxley's going to have to go over to California for all this to happen. I did not really, and I've been saying this for weeks, I did not think Kenta was going to show up on AEW. I just did not believe it. So like, I love the fact that, I feel like that's the special thing about AEW. You hear rumors and stuff, and sometimes you're like, okay, it's not happening, and then like to actually sit here and be completely surprised with like AEW, and I just love it so much. So my reaction last night with all this, I'm like, oh shit, this just like opened up the door to everything now. So it was just nuts.
I mean, Tony Khan kind of even told us back in, was it November, December, that the shift of wrestling is the balance in wrestling is about to shift, and it sure shifted. Like it broke the wrestling world last night. It was the only thing being talked about. Like, it was crazy. Like, there was right before that happened, I think the main thing that was being talked about, like, Dynamite wasn't really being too trendy. The main thing is because Edge showed up on NXT, right? That was a big deal over there. But like, as soon as this happened, I didn't see any post about Edge for like a good 3 hours, because it was just like, oh my God, Kenta's here. We know what this means. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. You can pop for Kenta because he deserves it. But the most of the pop in the reaction was because people know this is the relationship. Like, now look at the poster. So next week they're gonna. So there was a video after Dynamite of Kenny and Kenta in the parking lot, and Kenta going like, calling Kent or telling Kenny Omega to F off, and now they're getting a match. He said unsanctioned, but it looks like they've changed it now. It's last man, or is it last man or anything goes, last man standing, whatever kind of tag match happening next week. It's Kenny Omega and Kenta teaming together, which is interesting. And then Lance Archer and John Moxley tagging together, which is interesting. I don't know how those two are going to stay on the same page.
Doesn't matter. It's so good.
They're both loony bins in themselves.
Like, this match is going to be absolutely insane. Like, I don't know, last night's whole episode, like, I was so glued. It was one of those episodes at the time went so quick. It was that good, in my opinion. But like, damn, like now, like we're pumping back up, right, Kyle? Because even though it's like we like a lot of like AEW, obviously, because we do this podcast, and like every once in a while, it's like a mediocre kind of episode, but like I'm like, oh shit. So, but it's funny, like, that you're saying this whole thing with Edge. Like, I have to shout out Heel Pops and Chair Shots, because I bust out laughing with their tweet earlier, because he retweeted the what's it called? AEW 844 to 610 with NXT, right? So he goes, just so you know, because I like pissing you all off, Bad Bunny is bigger than Edge. And he goes, it's a joke, you sensitive little nipples. And I started dying.
I had no idea.
That's funny.
I just want to say, I had no idea Bad Bunny was that big. Like, I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
And then I heard his music, and I'm like, how is he that good? Or how is he that big? His music is horrible. Yeah. I'm sorry if you guys like Bad Bunny, but his music's trash as fuck.
No, it's not. You're trash.
Horrible.
Okay? Like, I'm one of the ones that actually like him. I don't understand anything he says, but that's okay. But that's like the origin of him, is that he wanted to make sure that all his music is
that considered music? Can I just come on the mic and go blah, 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 blah,
yes,
music?
You should do that. And I think the fans will actually pay, like,
Absolutely not. I couldn't even bring myself to do that. I couldn't go into the studio and go, all right, guys, time to go to work today. Okay, song number one.
Right. Question in the chat. Who did it better? Bad Bunny or Snoop?
Oh, I
want to know this.
The splash.
For all you people in the chat, what do you think, Kyle?
I'm definitely not saying bias, man. Bad Bunny did it way better than Snoop. Although I still love the name better for Snoop, the Puff Puff Splash. That's still the greatest name for a finishing move ever. No, the Booker T song is not bop. I couldn't understand a word he was saying, and it was driving me nuts. They're saying in the chat, anyways. Back to reality here. So the partnership is smart in so many ways, Tiff. Like, it's smart that they're also announcing the TV deal right the next day, because both these companies can work off TV now. New Japan can get help from AEW to get eyes on that, and then New Japan can help AEW get eyes on AEW. So It's a beautiful relationship. Now you got Impact, NWA.
It's crazy. So
where's Ring of
Honor?
Honor?
Question. Are we gonna get Ring of Honor in on this eventually too? I mean, I know Ring of Honor does cut. The ties are cut between Ring of Honor and New Japan.
See, I died because I saw the meme. Did you see the meme, the SpongeBob meme of like Squidward as Ring of Honor, and he's looking outside, and then it had all the other companies together. That was the best meme. I wish I had got it. That's the best meme I've seen all day.
Oh man. Queen's in the chat. Shout out to you, Queen.
Queen of
you guys. I love it. You
I
guys
told her
all
today.
here
I
hanging out
listened.
with us.
I listened to her and JPQ's last pod today during work. It was awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for this partnership. It means so many things between New Japan and AEW. And just think, like, I know I'm going to sound like a big giant mark here, and like
Go ahead,
outlandish.
be that mark, Kyle. Be it.
Okay. AEW. Tony Khan. What does he own? Football stadium.
Right.
Put that together with multiple companies coming for a super show. You got millions of people that would die to see that and could sell the stadium in 2 seconds flat. You could probably sell that stadium faster for an AEW, even New Japan super show. I know if you add Impact, that's just going to add more fans, but you could, if you added all three companies and you throw NWA in there and you do like a big super show, like a 2-night one.
And AAA too.
Right?
You forgot about
AAA, yeah, but like a 2-nighter.
Yeah.
You could probably sell out as fast as WrestleMania sells out every year. Guaranteed.
All right, so everybody wear your mask and shit and get your vaccines so we can freaking go back to normal and get this beautiful thought process that me and Kyle will probably try to get tickets for, and probably will take like an hour, get locked out of Ticketmaster to buy these tickets.
like you would need a two-night event, right? Like that's so
computer.
There's so many matches. You probably have to do like 10 matches a piece too.
Oh, man, it's gonna be like the fight forever that was this weekend. 24 hours of straight wrestling. Yes, let's do it.
Let's not do 24 hours of straight.
Kyle, would you? Okay, let's say we get that. Everybody in the chat, I want to know if we can have this beautiful possibility of all the endless matches between AEW, New Japan, Impact, AAA, OWE, Stardom, and all this beautiful.
Okay, let's bring it down.
Would you go, Kyle, for 24 hours straight to watch all this beautiful wrestling?
I don't think they do it, but if I go, yes.
I
don't think they would. Anywho.
Oh man, Ray's lighting. I see you in the chat. He says 24 hours.
I heard. I read a lot of people's comments. They are so supportive, but like it was a lot on them, and I give people full props if they lasted most of that 24-hour thing. That was crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Darren. Darren was doing that too. So he was up there for 24 hours, and Frank from GoPro Wrestling as well. Those guys, like, wow. I give you guys a lot of credit for doing that.
But this is crazy. Like, I mean, they're actually still like, they even with this news, the Bullet Club people are still chirping each other. I think I saw that, what was it? Jay White said something, and then the Young Bucks like tweeted back at him saying like, well, look at that. Look, ever since we announced or did that thing on TV, your Bullet Club merch sales have skyrocketed through the roofs. You're welcome, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like we made you guys relevant again. Like you're welcome. So the beef is lovely, It's great.
It's coming, guys.
So before we talk about the rest of Dynamite, because there's a lot to talk about, let's just briefly go over like the other stuff with AEW during the week. We gotta talk about it very briefly here. So being elite this week, we're still going to advocate, no matter how slow being elite is becoming and not really the same. We're still going to be advocates of it because it's such a fun show to watch on a Monday, or like you see another side to the AEW roster people. It's so great. So this week, like the whole intro had me dying. I know it was like very, very immature and childish, but it was so funny with the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks, and then the Buck on background, and they're looking like we wouldn't F Bucks, we'd have you Bucks.
Oh man,
it was just it was great. It was awesome. And then
I like that we saw like a whole bunch of clips of the things that were edited out.
So they had to. The Young Bucks told the Good Brothers, we had to edit out your little joint spot. Apparently, they had them all like lined up in 3 power bombs, and they were pretending to smoke a joint
Can you
and
imagine,
passing
like,
it across.
Thank goodness. Like, can you imagine if that was like on live TV? Like,
I was pissing I can't even talk myself laughing. It was great. Anna Jay still being mean to Stu. Freaking like pushed him right off the edge there.
you know what? I love it that Taze actually said, "Do you like him?" And I was like, "Yes, we're going back to like kindergarten, first grade when you had that little crush and then like you be mean." I feel like I'm 38 years old and I feel like I'm still getting that shit from people.
So is Anna Jay gonna get a piece of paper and write "Do you like me" with a box?
Oh my god!
Yes, no, and
yes,
maybe.
This is what is needed on BTE.
Oh man!
I love when John Silver's Anna.
Yeah, the Dark Order slumber party, and then they said no girls allowed, and basically just kicked 5 out. Like,
I love it.
And then Hangman wanted to come join, and then Anna kicked him out, and he told Fight, "You didn't see anything." But Cutler and Luchasaurus was pretty funny. They had like a dino sensitivity train. There's like a parking lot set up with like dinosaurs everywhere. I'm like, where was this?
Like, don't lie, you definitely love to like be there and check that out.
That was funny. Yeah. And Private Party were pranking the Good Brothers. Another shot thrown.
Yes.
To the stupid. I don't know. I think everyone remembers Luke Gallows' like one gimmick in WWE when he was Festus. And remember that? Do you remember this, Tiff? Were you watching WWE at the time when he was Festus?
No.
Whenever they would ring, he would come out with like his tongue sticking out. Like, I'm not gonna do the face here, but he'd come out with his tongue sticking out, and when they ring the bell, he would turn into like this angry monster and like just viciously attack the people. Then he would go back to it as soon as the bell would ring again. So they made fun of that, but they said, "Whoa, with a PH," because I don't know if Vince owns the name or not.
They really like dropped the ball on them, man, in WWE. They really did.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
And then the BTE Championship changed hands.
Yes.
So we had, I guess, the lit BTE Championship, because every time there's a BTE title segment, they're all drunk, which is great. I love seeing them have fun, right? I'm not criticizing it. I'm just, it's hilarious. So they had Sammy Guevara and John Silver face each other in a football punting contest, and Silver lost, and then. He kind of was like
glad that he didn't have to like carry his belt anymore.
And then Sammy was like celebrating with his buddy there. Oh, I can't forget. I always forget that guy's name. The luchador there.
Oh, Fuego.
Fuego. Yeah. That's it. So BT was funny. Again, you guys got to watch it. If you don't watch it, watch it. Dark was dark. Shout out to my girl Danny Jordan. Bought her shirt on the sale day this week.
Oh, you did?
I love Mean Girls. Weirdly enough, I'm a big Mean Girls fan. Love the movie.
Get her on the what's it called? Under the Ropes.
She's dope. If you do, I'm coming on.
You know what? I was just gonna say that. All right, so Kyle will come back to Under the Ropes if I
and Tay Conti. My girl Tay Conti had a match too. But yeah, that was it for the rest of AW this week. Let's talk about more of Dynamite. Okay. So the big thing here that happened on Dynamite. That it's a thing that's really controversial when it comes to wrestling. Like, a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it, and that's wrestling weddings. So, Tiff, how do you feel about wrestling weddings in general? Not this one in particular, but like wrestling weddings in general. How like what's your take on it?
It's just got to be done right. I feel like, and again for me, like, because I stopped watching WWE years ago, so it's like I haven't seen one in a long time. So it's kind of refreshing to me to like watch one again. But again, like I said, it can't be like the same thing over and over again. It's got to be a little bit like different. And I don't know. I got like a little bit of a different feel from it last night than what I'm used to.
We had Jim Mitchell,
oh my God.
Oh God, what do they call? What do they call? The Reverend? Oh God, what's the
oh my God, what the hell today? Like, I'm just
it's because the New Japan and AEW stuff got us all crazy. So we're forgetting regular English words here.
I don't English correctly, guys. You know this anyway. But can I tell you, I was
is it pastor?
I was texting our girl Queen of Eddie, and I was like, "What is with his eyebrows?" I'm like, "What the heck?" Like, I was just losing my mind, and I was like, I was typing hill pops and chair shots last night because I love like messing with them on Twitter on Wednesdays.
Minister, that's it.
Ordain or whatever. That's the word I'm looking for. The ordain. It's sinister minister.
Yeah. Remember, he was the minister for the Impact one where the guy got shot.
Yes.
So I was thinking, okay, who's getting shot this time?
Yeah.
Is Kip getting shot? It was weird though. I don't know. Can't say I liked the wedding. Can't say I didn't like it. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it went too long. I think that was the issue. I think it was good. It got to a point where you thought like maybe maybe after they kissed they should have ended it right there, and like Cassie popped out of the cake while they were kissing and then brawled. It kind of felt like they dragged a little bit too long, and I was like, okay, like get to the point already.
I don't know. I feel like the ending was a little bit better. I think maybe it started off a little bit slow, and then it got better as obviously. But they have to pump out the feud that's going on in between.
It's just weird though. Like they're doing things that didn't really mean or do anything. Like Kip cut off Penelope for whatever reason, but they didn't do anything. Like she wasn't pissed about that. Like if you're a chick and you're the guy you're marrying cuts you off in your vow, like why are you not mad at that?
Yeah.
It was weird. And then we're about to get the moment like forever hold your peace, and you can hear the crowd like anticipating it, but then like Miro cuts it off, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we're not getting that. And
I love how Miro was singing with the crowd, like
oh yeah, when he's singing the
baby tour. What was it? No,
Night at the Roxbury. Yeah.
What is love?
And
I was dying. I was like, that's funny. I was like,
yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about it. I think they could have done a way better job. But now I think it's the point where you have to do something with Miro.
Right.
You have to do something with him because now, like, ever since his debut, he's really done nothing.
Yeah.
Like
they really have it.
They built this thing from the best man thing when he debuted, and then nothing's come of it. So now, before he gets wasted away and becomes just like a dark or ringside, kind of like a ringside fan, you got to do something with him now. He's got the potential to get skyrocketed and be a main factor on this show. So you got to do something with him now.
Yeah.
Because it's time. Like you can't do any more of this best man crap after this. Like, it's over. Wedding's done. Move on.
Yeah. He's going his own, but it's not going to be over because like we're going to continue this feud with Chuck and Orange Cassidy. So that's going to be dragged out. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it needs something else. He needs a better feud.
He needs something. Like it's driving me nuts because I know the potential of this guy. They need to do something. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about Tag Team Battle Royal.
This was good.
So we opened the show up with Tag Team Battle Royal.
Good. I mean, honestly, right? Like every battle, like you think of it like it's a little too extra, right? Like the Tag Team Battle Royal, right? And you like when you think about it, you're like, okay, this is gonna be way too much. But I feel like everyone that we've had is so good.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was really good. I thought everything kind of flowed nicely. They had FTR get suspended, quote unquote. Suspended because of the actions they did on Luchasaurus last week by cutting off his horns, which I'm kind of disappointed he didn't have Band-Aids on this week. I'm just saying, just putting that out there. Like, give me some continuity, but like, put some like cross bandages over your horns, like to make it look like, you're still missing your horns. They kind of just left it alone.
Yeah.
Anyways, FTR got quote unquote suspended from this, and they were replaced with Reynolds. Was it Reynolds and Silver that replaced them? Because I don't think they were originally in the match.
Yeah. And
they had Uno and Grayson. So kind of Dark Order had an advantage. I think Inner Circle had the biggest advantage, though, obviously, because they had all 6 members in the match. But, God, I really thought, Tiff, like, going into this week, like, I was on Bob Culture's podcast, and I thought your boys' Private Party were going to be the dark horse win here. I just had a gut feeling for whatever reason.
I told you it wasn't going to be that. I told you exactly what was going to happen, that if it wasn't going to be MJF and Jericho winning, that it was going to be Young Bucks. It was more me thinking that it was going to be Young Bucks because how they left it. I still feel like they did not belong in this battle royale. Like, it didn't make sense to me. So with them being tag team champs, I just felt like it looks kind of me, like, I just felt like it looked kind of bad them in there, like, getting knocked out, but they're like one of the best, right? I talk about this all the time. They're one of the best tag teams in AEW, right? So like you want to see the best in the ring, but it wasn't needed. So I really felt that they were going to win, but I knew that once they got eliminated, I was like, all right, like definitely Jericho and MJF was going to win, which I don't like. And I really feel like, and I talk about this every week, I put it out on Twitter too, like, come on, like Ortiz and Santana, there's so many tag top flight, like Private Party. I understand where you're coming from, right? Those are my boys. I freaking love them to death and stuff like that. But I didn't see that happening for this when they have this opportunity going on in Impact.
Well, I'll give them something, because now Isaiah is out there tweeting saying that, you know, technically they weren't really eliminated because they were eliminated by someone who wasn't in the Battle Royal. So he was tagging Tony Khan AEW saying like, oh, we deserve a tag team title shot. I can't see them being. It'd be interesting if they were added. Maybe they did do like a triple threat tag team match at Revolution, but I don't know. I do agree with you that like MJF and Jericho winning really, like, it's too believable, because you know they're not going to beat the Young Bucks unless that's the plan, and that would be whoa. But no. I don't think that's the plan. After what I've seen with MJF closing the doors and talking to the rest of the Inner Circle, this is something that we've been sitting here watching Inner Circle week after week kind of do the same things, just bickering with each other, not really furthering the storyline. This furthers the storyline. Okay, why is MJF closing off Jericho from the Inner Circle and talking to them now? What's happening here? And did they agree with this conversation? Was something like, are they going to turn on Jericho and kick him out? What if that's the plan for them?
No, I think I feel like Sammy's going to wind up costing them the match, right? And this is going to be the destruction of Inner Circle, which needs to happen. And I think a lot of people are on this too, is that, okay, I think you've said it too, that it's time, like, okay, it's boring now, like, break up, and the possibilities that we can get within a whole bunch of them, right? Like, Sammy needs to go on his own.
What do you think this meant?
For the TNT championship.
That's all great, but what do you think this meant, though? There has to be a reason for them to have shown MJF closing the door out of, like, Jericho wasn't part of this, whatever meeting this was.
Jericho was going after Sammy, so it's about Sammy. It's not Jericho. It's like the whole thing back with Sammy, I feel like. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think it has anything so much to do with Jericho.
We'll see. I don't see them doing that and it not meaning something. It's like something's going to come out of this. And I am very interested to see where they go with this. Now we're getting somewhere. So we'll see what happens with that. As for the rest of the tag team battle royal, again, it was good. Right. Outcome. I know I saw a lot of people mixed reactions with Jericho and MJF winning. Can't really see them being the Young Bucks, but if they do, that would be interesting. That would be I don't know. But FTR, they also kidnapped Marco Stunt. So there's something with that. So it kind of looks like Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy against FTR is bound to happen soon, or Revolution. Something with that. We'll see how that plays out. Sting and Darby. Okay, so like,
oh my God.
Again, like, they're not doing anything. Why? Why do we have them come out and do the same thing every week? Like, I really could have, like, not used this segment at all. Like, they literally did the same thing, except team tested. They got barred from the building because of what they did last week. Like, great. So you got barred from the building. Why is Brian's Cage shirt off? It's 5 degrees outside. What were you doing out there?
I think that, again, there's like some storylines, they feel very stale and just like do it. Like, I know AEW, you bought in bulk of some snow, but I'm over, like, I'm really over it.
They invested in a very modern snowmaker machine for Sting's entrance, okay? It creates the mystique.
Yeah. I'm over it.
I don't know. It's just
Brad's so fixated on Marco on a pole match.
Okay, no. Vince Russo isn't here booking this. This is not happening. Anyways, again, Darby and Sting, and then the whole team. We've seen this week after week. We need to see something different. Don't come out and just talk like, yeah, like, oh, you say like I'm not the same Sting as before. You know, look at me in my eyes, kind of thing. It's like, yeah, great, cool, Sting, but like, This does nothing for me. This doesn't get me excited for the match. What this does is only get me more pissed off that Darby's getting wasted away with the TNT title right now. I think they should have paired them together and had Darby go on a run defending his championship as Sting with his mentor. But they're not doing that, so it's kind of like why are you wasting the pairing here?
All right, let's move on to like more stuff that we enjoyed. How did you feel about the whole Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa?
Right, we'll go over the women's side because we got to talk. There's a lot to talk about the women's side this week.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa and Baker lived up to expectations, I think, and exceeded expectations. I think that's probably one of the best women's matches we've had in a while. Very well done. Britt looked a lot better in the ring, so whether she's trained, I believe she would have to be trained now. And I was talking to Tiff earlier. I'm like, whether she's, learning from Thunder Rosa or learning from other vets or learning from regular ring vets, like she's getting a little bit better in the ring, which is great because her character right now and the way she does her character is really great. And she has a great character and she does it very well. She just needed to improve in her in-ring skills and she's doing it. I think she took another step in the right direction this week. And, it does help that you're in the ring with Thunder Rosa because she can make you look good. And Thunder Rosa looked great as well, as always. And it was a good match.
I loved Britt's gear, and I loved her makeup. And
it was on fleek.
It was. Don't make fun of it, okay? Queens in the chat. I always tag her. Wrestling fashion. Hell yeah. I loved it.
But it was great. It was good. Very good women's match. And I love the ending.
This isn't gonna end here either.
Reba's nuts, by the way. She's just so crazy, and she's out there like waving the red towel around the whole time.
I love it.
Oh, and Austin Gunn's new chant for Thunder Rosa, like doing the thunder from Thunderstruck. That's perfect. That chant needs to catch on, and that chant needs to like transition over when we get crowds again because that's gonna be a very over chant. But good match, very smart way to end it with Reba ripping the turnbuckle off and sending smashing Rose's head off the exposed turnbuckle. Very well done. And again, it's just they're really putting a lot of money in Britt Baker right now and building her up, which is great. So, I loved it. One thing I didn't like, women's wise, really did nothing for me. Going, okay, cool. She can lift weights. It's Jade Cargill's vignette. I was like, oh.
I just want her to come and smack food out of my hands.
Like, oh no, a girl that can lift weights, something I haven't seen before.
No, but
watch out.
Again, if for someone who doesn't really know too much about her, it showed a little bit, about her.
But for me,
and that was my instant reaction. Can she come smack food out of my hand?
Why are we getting it? Why wasn't that done before she debuted? Why are we getting her vignette so late?
Because we're postponing the inevitable.
Yeah,
because there's nothing
Shaq
going on right now. That's really what it is.
You see Shaq, they showed Shaq talking on his TNT panel, and he debuted his finishing move, which basically looked like the Judas effect. But you saw him elbow the plexiglass in between him and the commentators, and he knocked it over. Oh man, that was funny. But yeah, I guess that match is not happening at Revolution. We thought it was. So it's I think it's the week before, the week of the go home show. This is happening at. So Jade Cargill and Shaq against Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet in a mixed tag match. I'm
all for the mixed tag. Let's go.
Very interested to see how that goes down, especially with Shaq there.
Yeah.
It's just a way to get more eyes on the product. It's what it is, guys. I know you don't have to like it. You can hate it if you want. It's not a big deal. It's just a way to get more. You just have to understand it.
Sometimes you know what? We might be surprised. You never know. Try to keep an open mind. That's what I always say.
That's right too. I did write that down there, Brad. So the NBA All-Star game is also on the 7th, so they couldn't do it at Revolution. Yeah. Speaking of women, big announcement that happened on Dynamite this week. As the women's title tournament participant announcements. So I know a lot of Joshi fans loved some of these announcements and don't hate me because I don't recognize half of them. I recognize some of them, but I don't recognize half, the other half. And I know someone's going to be like, oh, you got to go check out this person. They're really good. And I will. I'll be doing my research. Don't you worry. I'll be researching each one of those participants and seeing what they're all about. Okay? So here they are. So we'll do the Japan side first, Tiff. And we'll do the American side next after you're done laughing. We'll wait.
I'm good.
Are you
Go
sure?
for it. Go for it.
All right, so on the Japanese side, we got Aja Kong, which is sweet. I was actually wondering about her. So she'll be in it. Our girl Yuka Sakazaki.
Yeah.
Emi Sakura. We got Veni. Again, I'm going to butcher some of these names. Please don't don't rip me apart in the chat or watching back. So we got Veny. So I'm going to say Veni. We have Ryo Mizunami. I'm pretty sure I said that right. We got Mei Soruga, Maki Ito, and Ren Kadokura. I think I said that right. I saw was it Maki Ito or was it Mei Soruga on Twitter? Just put like, "I'm coming, mother effers." While quote retweeting, I'm like, okay, I'm picking this girl for the Japan side. This is my chick right here.
I'm excited.
So it was Ito's tweet. Conrad in the chat, shout outs to you, Conrad. What's going on? Everything Pro Wrestling. It was Ito that put that tweet out, and I'm like, hey, I'm going for her instantly just from that tweet.
This is exciting.
But the American side, huge American side. So we have Thunder Rosa, Layla Hirsch, Serena Deeb, Riho, Dr. Britt Baker, Ty Conti, Anna Jay, and Nyla Rose. Now, why is Riho on the American side?
Because she's a dub.
But so is Yuka Sakazaki.
Yeah, but
what?
Rio's now living in the States.
Oh, no, that's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
But did you see, though, Hikaru Shida went to Japan? So is she going to be Is that why she's over there? Is she going to be like doing like, I'm wondering if she's going to be doing like things about this tournament over there. That's interesting. Why is she in Japan? That's why I tweet the tweet with the eyes.
Yeah.
But Tiff,
I'm excited for this.
Give us an early prediction. American side, Japanese side, or at least give us someone who you think is going to come out of the American bracket.
I have no clue. Like I'm really like lost here. Like, is this gonna be our build of Rihu to come? Rihu, as we say. I did that on purpose because I can't say Rio because since we do this podcast, it's Rihu. Since that's our thing. I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, all signs do point towards Britt Baker, right? All signs do point towards Britt Baker. But what if Thunder Rosa gets her revenge in this tournament and gets the revenge on Baker and beats her out of the tournament? I could see them doing that too.
I don't know. Just the possibilities that we're going to get here. I'm excited. And I'm excited for more wrestling that I'm not familiar with.
And crazy that they're filming in Japan.
Yeah.
Like the Japanese bracket is going to be filmed in so I'm going to assume they've sent the film crew over there and they're going to film matches over there, and I'm wondering, where are they filming it? Like, are they going to Stardom's dojo and going to film from there? Do they have a partnership with Stardom? Do they buy a dojo over there? Like, what's going on?
I mean, some of the best women are in Japan. And we know this, and like I feel like it was so great, right? Like Kyle, like when you and me started watching AEW, and we didn't know a lot of these Japanese wrestlers, and we're like, wow. And you and me just love Shida, right? Like
I became a massive fan of the Joshi wrestling.
Right. So I was like, wow, it's so like different there. And I hear stories from even independent wrestlers here in the States that go over to Japan and like they're just loving it and things like, and just some of the clips that I've seen. Shout out to our boy JPQ.
Hashtag Stardom. Watch Stardom.
Yes, like just some of the stuff that I see on Twitter feed alone from some of these women. Like I don't even watch so much wrestling out there, but I'm like, wow. So I'm really excited for this because I'm excited to see more different style of wrestling that we're not used to.
Yeah. This would probably maybe have something to do with the partnership with New Japan. Maybe New Japan's got some rings for them to borrow for this. You know what I mean?
Man, maybe I wish we would have saw oh God, what was her name? What was the girl's name? I'm drawing.
Oh, that girl, the girl. Oh, the girl. The girl that wrestles.
The one that tag team would be that I loved her with the split colored hair. The black hair and the orange hair. Now she's no longer.
Oh, Jamie Hayter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is she not in this?
I don't know.
I love her. She's so freaking good.
I follow her on the Insta.
She's so good.
Yeah. She's actually getting to crazy shape. Like she always posts like her workout videos on Instagram.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like some of the pictures with her, like that she's been working out, like and stuff. Like, my God, but like they another one dropped the ball on her. She's just so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
lumberjack match. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so I know you want to talk about it because of the one spot in it. That was nuts. I did not expect Lance Archer, a guy of that size, to do a over the top rope suicide dive.
It's the littlest things I get so excited for. And that's like one that I was like, yo.
Could you imagine being the people down there looking up and seeing Lance Archer of all people, the 6 whatever giant, just doing a top rope suicide dive over you, and you're like, oh God, got it. Brace for impact.
I bust out laughing. This shit was great.
You're sitting there hoping that you don't get hurt in a spot like that. Like that is insane. I marked out. I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. But now it's tied a piece. So I'm assuming we're gonna get a rubber match.
Hey,
Revolution. Steel cage. Give us something.
Yo, shout out to the boys, Bear Country. I love those guys so much. AEW like signing them to like. You know, like I just love Bear Country. I was just dying. I was like, I've seen them so many times here, and they're just so good. I was just dying.
Yeah,
man.
So yeah, I'm assuming there's a rubber match here. Maybe. I mean, Lance Archer's now put himself in between Kenta and Omega and Moxley and him now. But unless, Eddie Kingston, because it's a no disqualification match, right? Next week, what if Kingston gets involved and maybe costs Archer and Moxley the match, and Kenta and Omega win, and that pisses off Archer more, and that leads to this rubber match. And I mean, what else? If they're gonna have a rubber match, it's got to be something crazy, because it was just 1-on-1, right? Their first match, I believe, it was just regular 1-on-1.
Yeah.
And then they have a lumberjack match. Your next match has to be.
Fan of the lumberjack match.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird match.
Like I feel like it takes away from it. I mean, I get like what they were trying to do so that we can have another match with them, and like I'm all for it because these matches between them alone have been good. But I'm not a big fan of lumberjack matches.
What do you think or if they have a rubber match though?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do? Can't do a street fight. It's already a street fight.
I mean, I'm down for like a real street fight again because those are like.
They already have a street fight. There's already a street fight happening.
Want a cage match?
I want the cage match. Bring that cage over that they had with Cody and Wardlow. That was a sick cage.
Yeah.
Do it. Give us what we want.
Well, why not? Like we've seen like Eddie in some crazy like death matches and shit like that. Like why not, right?
Bill in the chat, my best friend Bill, Texas death match.
I've enjoyed the parking lot brawls.
No rope, no mat wrestling match. Just the wood base.
Let's do it.
Just the wood base, no ropes.
Let's do it. I'm all for no rope matches. I've seen them all the time. I kind of like the fact of a cage match.
I really want that steel cage. I really want that steel cage to come back.
Yeah, it was
so
good.
Bad.
It's not like an overkill. Like, I think the fans like it. I feel like this could be fitting for it for this actual match.
Yeah. So I'm assuming next week, Eddie Kingston gets involved because it's no DQ, costs them a match. That helps, Kenny Omega be like, oh, look, look, we won a match. You teamed with us. Screw your other Bullet Club buddies. You're going to win matches with me in our new Bullet Club. You know what I mean? That could be a way to do that.
We see Pac enter here a little bit and attack them both.
Yeah, something's going to happen. I mean, a no disqualification type match like that, anything can happen. But it's going to be a sweet main event. Can't wait for next week's Dynamite. They already have us wanting more, especially with this new partnership.
Yeah, man.
And then next week, Tiff.
Yes.
Get your Roku device set up because the first episode of that show will be next week.
It's set up. It's already set up.
There you go. On the 11th, yeah, next week on the 11th. That's the first, the debut episode of New Japan US, whatever they're gonna call it. So.
Oh man, yes, Bill. Bear Country versus Butcher the Blade. Give me on Dynamite.
As long as it's Butcher and the Blade in their proper attire, I'm all for it.
You and the damn freaking.
I don't want them coming out as Painter Joe and Painter John and.
It's the Mario.
Oh boy. Anyways.
What did you call them? The kinky perverts on the Bob Culture podcast?
Man,
what did you call them?
I don't remember.
I was like, what the heck?
The team dominatrix against the painters or the painters.
I'm dead. I can't. All right. Well,
the betrayal is real. We'll see. Anywho, Rihu.
He's been talking about this attire with me for episodes after episodes after episodes.
Because I think
Bill
tried to make sense of it. I'm not on board. I'm not on board. You pick one attire and that's it.
It's my fault, Kimmy, because I was the one that told Kyle that they look like painters, and I think that it's stuck in his head.
I would have said that before you told me.
No.
Yes, I said they look like Super Mario at first.
No, I said they look like
No,
painters.
I'll go back and I'll show you.
We were talking about this.
Don't you point your finger at me.
Messaging.
I will take this and I will ring it at you. I will ring it at you.
Listen, don't take your aggravation of Kimmy on me, okay? Because we were talking about this.
Hey,
in DM.
I've come to terms with Kimmy. We're good. That's for you. That's for you.
You know what? Screw you, okay?
Anyways.
Anyway, let's move on.
Anywho, we're done. Everything happened on Dynamite we talked about.
But we didn't really go into the entire match of the whole thing with Kenny and the Good Brothers and Pac.
Oh
and,
yeah,
Moxley.
That happened.
Touch on that.
Well, I mean, we talked about the best part of the whole match.
We did talk about, but the match itself was just so good.
It was good. Yeah.
You have the best of the best in the ring, right? And it's just you're giving this to us in Dynamite, and it's thank you so much, Tony. The best of the best is in the ring here.
Phoenix
Pac,
dude, Phoenix though. Yeah, Pac's good, but Phoenix.
Husband gave me the best bridge. Okay, I need to see a bridge off between him and
Can't
Yuta.
believe he's on your list of husbands, man. I can't. I can't get with Pac on your list of husbands. No.
It doesn't matter. It's not up to you, okay? But husband gave me the perfect bridge last night, and I marked the hell out. I had to go back.
Kimmy, I have to shame. It's part of the podcast. It's just a thing we do. It's a staple. Can't get rid of it.
Yeah, it's an AEP thing.
But yeah, very Phoenix. I think Phoenix looked like the biggest stud in that entire match, though. He looked very good. Phoenix. We talk about a lot of people wanting, or should it be Jungle Boy should be getting a singles run. I think Phoenix should be getting a singles run. That guy is a star, and he's insane in the ring.
Just the chemistry.
She's a little too crazy in the ring, though, because his suicide dives piss me off because he looks like he's going to break his legs on every suicide dive he does.
Yeah.
He goes flying and his legs are like this on the
crazy
on the barricade.
It's you look at these guys and they really are the best of the best. And my God, this was proven last night.
My God.
Shut up. Okay.
I just can't stop looking at Pac's abs. Oh my God.
I hate you.
And look at that butt. Anyways, before I stop talking like Tiff here. Great episode of Dynamite.
Way too much.
Good episode of Dynamite. Very good themed episode of Dynamite. Beach break. It was amazing. You see that big giant beach ball that they had? It's huge.
Can you imagine? You imagine a creep come behind and pops it.
Oh God. I felt bad. I love your creep there. That's insane.
It's one of the ones in my DMs, Kyle. They just run up behind.
That's what they do. They go ha ha ha.
Devil horn.
Yeah.
No, but I was thinking about that last night too, and I was like, where the hell do they get these?
A giant beach ball. That was huge. If you guys if you guys didn't see it, go back.
Wait, I'm going on Amazon. Can we find one on Amazon? Giant beach ball.
Oh God. While you look that up, Tiff, I I was going to say, it was a weird type of beach theme because it was literally 5 degrees Fahrenheit last night in Jacksonville. So that's yikes.
They have one for Star Wars, just so you know.
Oh, a Star Wars beach ball. Sign me up.
It's $50.
Sold. I have a Star Wars shelf back there. You guys can't really see it, but it's a Star Wars themed shelf.
I need this.
Anyways, while Tiff's looking at beach balls, we're gonna end the show off because I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
Yes, wrap it.
So thank you guys for watching live. Very, very much appreciated. Make sure you're following us on all these social medias. The correct and only All Elite Podcast on Facebook. Like us on Facebook at All Elite Podcast, on Twitter at All Elite Pod, and on Instagram at All Elite Pod. Those are all the socials for you guys. If you guys need help finding them, the link tree is in the video description of the YouTube version of the podcast below. And if you are an audio listener, thank you for listening to our podcast on audio, on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Stitcher, CastBox, Anchor, wherever you're finding your podcast, search up the No Holds Barred Network, and you'll find the All Elite Podcast and all the other wonderful podcasts we provide here on the network. Also, the Apple Podcast listeners, give us a 5-star rating, generous 5-star rating. Leave us a comment. What you guys think of the podcast and all the other podcasts on the No Holds Barred Network. Everything does help. Make sure you're also checking out our official theme song artist, and that is Darren, This Wolf. He does the song Dead to Me, which is our official theme song. Darren, thank you very much each and every single week for letting us use that theme song as our official podcast theme song. You have no idea. It means the absolute world to us. So thank you very much, Darren. And guys, make sure you sign up for the No Holds Barred Network Patreon, www.patreon.com/NHB Network. Sign up for as little as $1 a month. You get access to exclusive content and other podcasts you won't find on the YouTube channel for the No Holds Barred Network, like gaming content and other podcasts that are available now on the Patreon page, and more to come as we continue to grow this network. So, yeah. So, Tiff, any closing remarks today?
Beach ball.
Beach ball. Beach ball. You blow up beach ball and you throw.
Artichoke-y.
Or artichoke-y, yeah. There's about 4 episodes of the Free For All podcast, guys, on there. You see another side. Me and Tiff are crazy here, but we go even further on these podcasts.
It's beyond what goes on here.
Do sign up for that. But that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you for watching live. If you're watching live on YouTube, if you're watching live on Twitch, Facebook, if you're watching back on YouTube, if you're downloading the audio version of the podcast, thank you very much. It means the world for me and Tiff. Even if you're interacting in the chat, you're tweeting at us, you're retweeting. Everything you guys do, much appreciated. We are a fan podcast, and we do it for you fans out there. And thank you guys very much. Again, we're 120 episodes into All Elite Podcast, Tiff. So, and we continue to go on and keep going here on the All Elite Podcast. So,
we haven't celebrated our episodes. We used to celebrate every episode.
Yeah, that was a running joke in the beginning. We would celebrate. We'd have like our 7th episode anniversary or 8th episode anniversary. I don't do that anymore. I don't think we should. It'd be weird.
Why not?
You know what? Fine. I will. What's it called? I will wholesale buy little mini streamer exploders and explode it into the camera every week.
Where's Casey? I think next week we're gonna actually have a special guest too. So guys,
on the All Elite Podcast, we're gonna have a special guest.
Yes.
So someone in the wrestling community that's well known. So make sure you guys tune in.
Yes.
But other than that, guys, it's gonna wrap it up for myself and Tiff. I am your self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters. Always joined by my co-host, the Queen of the Indies, the Heartbreak Chick, the EVP of Giggles. That's Tiffany. Guys, thank you very much for watching. We will see you guys right back here next Thursday night, live for the next episode of the All Elite Podcast. Take it easy.